Hi there guys, Jack here from Pure Create Designs, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at creating a modern video intro inside of After Effects. This can be also used as a promo, it's up to you what you want to do with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this actually is, because from the title, that's all I could think of as a title, but I'm going to show you quickly what this actually is. Okay, this is what it is. The text fade in like so, and then we're going to have these videos drop in. They actually are videos with a nice drop shadow at the bottom. Okay, like so. So it's quite a nice, as you can see, it's quite a nice modern video intro. You can always use as a promo as well. It's just up to you. Okay, so I have these free video files here like so, and these are just a Minecraft video. There's a hint there, I will be making Minecraft videos on Pure Creative Gaming, so check that out. I'll be making quite a lot of adventure maps and stuff like that, or a lot of videos on adventure maps, should I say. And these are just two Photoshop tutorials that I've done that I just downloaded back off YouTube because I didn't have them on my computer. Okay, that's why they're quite a weird name. Okay, so I'm inside of After Effects CS5 now. This doesn't really matter what After Effects you're in, it'll just work. It's just some basic stuff really. So what I'm going to do over in the project window, or actually first I'm going to go to create composition, new composition, and I'm going to name this one modern video intro. Okay. Then I'm going to put the preset as HDTV 720 by 29.97 that's the frames per second, so it's that one right there. Okay. Make the duration 10 seconds long. It's up to you what your duration wants to be, depending on if it's an actual intro or if it's a promo. If you don't know what a promo is, it's just generally promoting your channel, or some people just say it's a bigger intro, but it's more like promoting your channel. Okay, so let's click OK, and there we have it. So now we're going to go to project. I'm going to double click here, and I'm going to bring these free videos in. Choose your videos wisely, it's up to you, but obviously what videos you want to use. Yeah. So I'm going to click down here on the modern video intro, and I'm going to go to layer new solid. I'm going to make a white solid, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to name this as background because this is going to be our background solid. Okay. Then I'm going to go to effect, I'm going to choose generate, and then I'm going to choose ramp, like so. I'm going to make it a radial ramp, and I'm going to choose the start colour to be a light grey, and the end colour to be quite a darkish grey. And as you can see here, I have two little points on the top of the document itself. I'm going to click on the top one, hold shift, and bring it down, like so. And then I'm going to drag out on this one as well. Okay, looking good. Alright. So once I've got that, I am going to need to create this text. So if I go to the text tool, I'm going to be using font Bank Gothic LTBT. If you want to download this, it will be in the link in the description. If you don't know how to install fonts, just when you've downloaded it, double click it. Then it will say in the top right hand corner, install it. That'll install it to the fonts list that you have in your computer. It'll work on anything from After Effects, Microsoft Word, whatever you name it that has fonts, it'll be there. If you don't see it when you actually click on the drop down menu at first, just restart After Effects and then go down to B, and obviously you'll find it. On mine it's the first one. Okay, the colour I'm going to be using black for this one, and we will be using grey later, but I'll show you what we're doing first. So I'm going to write in Pure Create Designs. Obviously you're not going to write that, you're going to write either your YouTube channel or whatever you're promoting. Okay. Right. What I'm going to do, come down here and I'm going to choose title action safe, and I'm just going to use this just to, I'm not going to go center, I'm just going to bring it up just a little bit from the center, but I'm just making sure that I'm aligned properly, and this is just great when you're working with titles. So I'm going to go back out of this like so. Now we have our first text, so we're going to go back up to the text tool, click down again. So we're going to come over and change this to the grey, so it's just going to be all fours, so it's 6 fours. Okay, and I'm going to choose OK, so for that dark grey, it looks quite nice. And I'm going to write here in I'm going to write here presents. Okay, drag this into place like so. Looking quite good. So once we've got that there, now we are going to pre-compose these two layers. So if I click on the presents, and I'm going to hold down and choose Pure Create Designs, or whatever yours says, I'm going to go to layer, pre-compose, and I'm going to name this as title, like so. Move all the attributes and click OK. So this is all just one big image now. Okay. So we need to create that shadow that we saw underneath this. So I'm going to go to the elliptical tool, or sorry, go up to the rectangular mark. Oh, it's not even rectangular, it's just rectangle tool, and then go down to the ellipse tool like so. I'm just going to drag out, sorry, not like that. We're going to actually create a new layer first. I'm going to choose it to be a new shape layer, like so. And this is where we're going to drag out that. I am using the colour black, and I've got no stroke on this at all. Okay. So as you can see, I've made it just a little bit bigger than the actual text itself. I'm just going to scale this down just a little bit, like so. Right, that's looking fine. Let's have a look at that. Yep, that's fine. What we're going to do now, click on it, go to a effect, and then we're going to choose blur and sharpen. We're going to go down to Gaussian blur, and we're going to drag this up to around 100. Yep, 100. 100 will be fine. So on the shape layer, let's drag that below the title. It just looks a bit too strong, so we're going to go back on it. I'm just going to rename this actually. Just hit enter on the keyboard, and then I'm going to name this shadow, like so. And then I'm going to hit T on my keyboard, and I'm going to bring the opacity of this down, just so it's not as strong, but we can still see it. That looks good. So my opacity is on 75%. Okay. So there's the first title and the shadow done. Now we just need to obviously keyframe these in. My title just looks a little bit off, so I'm just going to bring this up. That looks a bit better. I'm just going to bring this shadow up a little bit. Okay, that looks a bit more centered. So they both faded in. So first off, we need to actually fade in this background. So if we hit T and click the stopwatch, drag it down to 0%, drag it forward about 11 frames. Okay, and I'm going to drag this up to 100%, so we just have a nice fade in. And then the text is going to fade in after this fades in, so if we go to the title, hit T, just after that's faded in, so around, what's that, 18 frames, we're going to hit the stopwatch, drag it to 0, and then we're going to fade it in nice and slowly to around 1 second, like so. So now we have this fading like so. And what I'm going to do, actually I'm just going to make it a little bit shorter, and we're going to need to fade in that shadow at the exact same time. Hit T, drag that down, and then that was on 75%, so we're going to drag it up back up to 75%. Okay, so now we have this type of fade in like so. Okay, looking quite nice. Drag this just to nearly 2 seconds. We're not going to want this to be on here too long. And then the title, I'm going to go to P, that's going to bring up my position, and I'm going to drag it forward a little bit, and I'm going to drag this off screen like so. As you can see, it just looks a bit boring, not much going on there. So what I'm going to do, click this little one here. If you don't have this, just hit toggle and switches and go between them until you get this one here. Choose the motion blur one, that's this one here. I'm going to enable the motion blur there. So now we have a bit of a motion blur going on, just makes it look like a little bit more professional. Right, so when this is actually flying off, we're going to want to fade off this shadow as well. So we're just going to go back to the opacity, click there, that adds a new keyframe, and then we're going to drag it forward just so it goes off screen, so on the last keyframe, and drag this down to 0. So they both fade off at the same time now, or one flies off, one fades, which is looking nice. Okay, so that's the first part of the tutorial done. Now the intro done. Now we just need to get these start on these videos. So if I go to the project tab, and the first one I'm just going to drag in is one of these Photoshop videos, like so. So I'm just going to drag this into place, and I'm going to click on this and drag it down quite a bit until we actually get to part of the video itself, like so. So there's just something actually going on, so it doesn't look like this is actually just an image. Okay, so this looks alright. So there's actually a bit of stuff going on there. So what I'm going to do, what I've done is I've just dragged that down until I've got to a part where there's actually something going on in the video. Then I'm going to go to Layer, Pre-Compose, because I want to pre-compose this, and I'm going to put this as first video, and I'm going to leave all the attributes and click OK. Alright, double click on this first video, and it's going to bring us up into this like little extra composition. I'm going to click, and I'm going to hold shift, and I'm just going to drag this down. Holding shift is just going to make sure that we keep the aspect ratio of this video itself, Okay, so I'm going to drag it down, as you can see, to around this size. I'm going to hit Control D. It's going to make a copy of this layer. I'm going to click on the bottom and drag up to the top like so. Click, hold Shift and bring it down, and that's going to just sort of bring it down. This is where the drop shadow is going to go. So once we've got it like that, we're going to go up to the pen tool. We're going to click around where we want this drop shadow to actually sort of end. I'm going to want it around here. Click, hold and Shift, so that will give us a nice perfectly straight line. Then I'm just going to go down like so, and then go back to join it up. As you can see, it gets rid of the part that we actually want to be the shadow. So we're going to click on the little drop down arrow here, go to masks, and then we're going to click inverted. So this is inverted this now. Okay. Then we're going to go into the actual mask itself, go to the mask feather, and just bring that up so we have a nice little feather going on at the edges. Then back on the video, hit T, and drag this opacity down to around 22%. Okay, right, that looks fine. Back to the selection tool, so this is what it looks like now. Doesn't look very nice in here, but if we just close that for now and go back in, as you can see, it's looking very nice against this grey background. Okay, so we want to actually fly this in and make it sit here. So I think we'll fly it in from here, and then we'll just actually we'll fly it in from the top. Yeah, it needs to come down. It needs to come down from the top, and then it'll fly out to the right. Let's just bring it into the top from the top. So as you can see, I've dragged it off screen. I'm going to drag. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to drag it into place where I want the video to actually start. Make sure you leave a decent gap at the side. I'm going to click, hold Shift, and drag upwards. And then as you can see, the bottom part sticking out. That looks fine. So if we go back to the first video, I'm going to hit P on my keyboard. Just click position, drag forward, and then I'm going to drag this down like so into place. So now we have a animation going on of this actually flying in. So this text flies out, and then this thing flies down. As you can see, it does look a bit boring as well. So we're going to click that motion blur. So we have a bit of motion blur going on here like so. Okay, so what I actually did on the other one is I rotated this now. You can either keep it straight and have the text here, but I'm going to rotate it round just a little bit. So I'm going to make this a 3D layer, and when I make it 3D, it'll already bring up the orientation. That's what we're going to want to work with. So I'm going to click that orientation stopwatch, just to make sure I put it onto the right frame, like so. And I'm actually going to bring it forward just before the last keyframe, and then I'm going to drag just after where it lands, and I'm going to go to the middle one, and I'm going to drag so it's just rotating round like so. Okay, so now we have this effect going on like so, and we just need to bring the text in now. Okay, so I'm just going to close that off. Now I'm going to go to the text tool. I'm going to make this on the same grey, and I'm going to write what should we write? Should we change it or should we keep it the same? Let's just put it as a brand new tutorials. So I'm going to put it as brand new to start off with, and then I'm going to add in tutorials afterwards. The reason why I'm doing this and not actually pressing spacebar is so I can line this up right underneath each other, like so. That's looking fine. I'm just going to go and click on both of these and pre-compose these as well, just so it gives us a bit more space down here. Move all the attributes, and this is going to be called first video text. Should we put it? Sounds good to me. Okay, just going to drag this over, just to use my keys just a little bit closer to the video. Okay, and we're going to fade this in. So if I just go back to this video, what I would suggest you doing is, I never work with audio inside of After Effects, it never works, right? So I always just I'm just going to mute this actual video itself, so when you actually render it, you're not going to have any sound. What I do is I render my videos from After Effects, open it in say Sony Vegas, wherever you want, and then I add either music in or sound effects through something like that. Any video editing software, it's just a lot easier. Okay, so once we've got this turn around, I'm probably going to want it to fade in here. So if I just go back to this first video, hit U, it's just going to bring up these keyframes so we can just see where we want this actual text to fall its way in. So I'm going to put it actually as soon as it falls down. It's the first text. I'm going to go hit T, bring the opacity down to 0, and then obviously it's rotating round, and I want it to slowly fade in. So around the 3 seconds mark, we are going to drag this opacity up. Okay. For some reason the opacity is on 1, just make sure it's down at 0. So now we have the text nicely fade in, like so. drag it forward just over a second and a half, that'll do, and I'm going to now set the stopwatch again to add a new keyframe, and then I'm going to fade it out to 0. Okay, so now this is how long it's going to go on for, just over a second, and then it's going to fade off. You can have it for as long as you want, it's up to you. Okay. So with this text now, we are going to go to position, create a new keyframe, and then we're going to go to where the actual text fades out, and then click, hold shift and drag it out to the right of the screen, like so. Right, looking fine there. Alright, so that's your first video done. Now let's get onto our second video. So if I go into, I'm going to choose this one here, drag this one out. And I'm not going to talk about explaining as much as what I just did then, because as you can see, what we're doing is just sort of doing the process that we've just done again. So I go to layer, pre-compose. I'm going to pre-compose this one as second video. Leave all the attributes, that's fine. Okay, double click on second video. I'm going to click and scale this down again, like so. I'm going to go back into modern intro and actually just drag this out until something's actually happening on the video, so it doesn't look like an image again. So let's just keep scrolling, so as you can see something's happening now. So let's go back into this second video, close it first, now double click it open, right? And what I'm going to do now is duplicate this layer again, Control D, and that's going to create as another. Click from the top, drag it upwards, click, hold shift, drag it down, like so. Use the pen tool, click, hold shift, go along this, like so. And as you can see, it's got rid of that part that we don't want again, so let's open this up, go to masks, and I'm going to invert it, like so. Go back into the masks again, and I'm going to bump the feather up again. Then I'm going to hit T, and we're just going to drag this down to around 22% again. Okay, done that. And then we have it here. So when this one actually flies off from the right, we're going to want this one to come in from the right, but it's going to end up sitting on the left of the screen. Okay, so go back to my selection tool, drag this off screen, like so, and we're going to hit P, create a position keyframe, drag it forward a little bit, and I'm going to drag this over to the left of the screen, leaving a bit on the side again, so we have that animation coming in. Add the motion blur, make it look a little bit more professional, like so. And then what we're going to do now is mess around with the orientation, so let's make this a 3D layer again. Hit the stopwatch on the animation. We're going to want this to fly in, so let's make it from the start to the end. So we're going to want that effect, you know, on the last video where as you can see, it does the tilt at the end. We're going to want that again, so we're going to just drag it just after that where it actually the animation finishes. I'm going to create a new keyframe, right? So if I just zoom out for you now, we're going to grab the middle one. I'm going to drag it quite a bit so it flips around. So what this is actually going to do now is this is going to come out and drag its way into place like so. But what we're going to want it to do is, instead of coming back to the normal place, we're going to want to go back to this keyframe here. I'm going to drag it round just so it's tilted a little bit again, so it gives it that nice effect, like so. That's it flying into place. So now we add the text in, back to our text tool, and I'm just going to put on where there. So we got more tutorials. What do we actually have? Let's have a look. Let's just go back. Let's just delete that. I need to know what I'm writing here. So brand new tutorials, and then I'll put here on Photoshop. Let's just add on, not pon, on Photoshop. Like so. Looks fine. And then we're going to keyframe this in, fade this in. We'll fade it in from where this first keyframe of the last position keyframe is. So we're going to go to T, press T on it on the Photoshop layer, drag this down to 0, and then we're going to have this fade in, like so. So we have the video come in and then the text fade in, like so. Looks good. Drag this forward, and then I'm going to click back on the little add new keyframe button, drag forward a tiny bit, and then we're going to fade this text back out. And now we're going to want this video to fly off screen, and we're going to fly it off to the left this time. So we're going to click the position tab again, or the new keyframe again, sorry, drag forward to the end of the opacity keyframe on the text, and then we're going to click and hold shift and drag this off screen. So now we have the text there, and it flies off screen. Okay, looks fine. And now we just need to bring this last video in. So if we go to the Minecraft video, drag this on. It's a bit bigger than usual. This is just an unedited video, so I'm going to click hold shift just to bring this down a bit. Layer, pre-compose, and this one's going to be third video because it's the last one, or you can just have as many as you want, as I said before. Well, I put it as third, I can't be asked to rename it now, but go into that, scale this down again, like so. Control D, I'm going to duplicate it, drag this up, bring it to the bottom, like so. Grab our pen tool, click hold shift, and then just take out that selection again, go back in, masks, invert it, go to the masks again, and then feather this out, like so. Okay, nice. Then we're going to bring the opacity down of this to around 22% again, or 23, doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we have this looking good. So we're going to bring this in from the top this time. So let's just, oops, didn't want to do that. See if we can get that back in there. There we are. Okay, go back to our selection tool, drag this over to around here. Let go, and I'm going to drag this up so it's off screen again. Okay. Alright. Third. Sorry, not third. Oh, we're going to want to keyframe this position. Okay. Keyframe that. And then bring it forward. Drag it down into place. Like so, looking good. That's fine. Okay. Obviously add that motion blur again to give it just that better look. Okay, then I'm going to make it a 3D layer, keyframe the orientation, and then we'll do the same as usual, create a new keyframe just in front. What have I done now? Okay, that's better. Right, okay, sorry about that. So let's just sort this out. So let's just create a new orientation. So click the orientation, drag forward just after the where it lands, and then create a new keyframe again. Okay, so we're going to want this to spin. So let's grab this. Let's just spin this or tilt it. So we have this come in like now, like so. And then we're just going to add the text in saying on Photoshop, and then this text is going to say and more. So computer's going a bit slow. Okay. So now we're going to fade this text in like before. T. Create the opacity where text lands. Okay, drag forward. Sorry, create a new keyframe again. And just take this down to 0. So we have the text fade in. And then we're going to fade it out just before the end. This one's not going to be as long as usual. Or not as long as the others. Like so. So this text fades out, and then this is going to fly down now. Okay, where did it come from? It came from the top. Okay, and then it's just going to fly down. So new keyframe position. Okay, and bring that down. So that flies off. Like so. And now we can just keyframe the background and fade this off. So this is what we got. Okay, so that's the tutorial, guys. I'm just going to brand preview this for you now. But yeah, once this is actually loading, I'm just going to show you what we've actually created, which is quite a nice looking intro or promo. As I say, or promo, you can use this for whatever you want. You can have this for an intro for your video or to promote your channel. It's up to you. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. I want to get back into After Effects again, and I just thought this was quite a nice one. I was messing around with Photoshop for a while. Oh, sorry, not Photoshop, After Effects, and I thought let's do a tutorial on this type of intro. So I like this one. But yeah, if you can check out Pure Creative Gaming, I'm going to have some videos up there soon of playing Minecraft if you like Minecraft. I don't know where to start. I might be doing Let's Plays and some custom adventure maps. I like playing them. So it's just up to you if you want to check me out. Definitely go and have a look, and make sure you like this video or give it a thumbs up. It would make my day. I just want to get myself out there again. And yeah, so that's it guys. Please subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and yeah, I'll see you sometime soon. That's it guys. See ya.